alphanumeric, some special character. So all those gimmick is done to basically avoid this or to delay the attacker who is trying to do that. And of course, there are a lot of other measures like there is
Media.
captcha portals, right? Then there is of course two-factor authentication and stuff like that. But then password, you as a person should always have password which are basically lengthy. Maybe you put up a sentence. Okay, my name is XYZ, right? And that's a good password. Okay. Uh, of course, as I said, multi-factor authentication and captchas are something is implemented in corporates. So, so I spoke of SDN ecosystem. So, what's the SDN ecosystem? Let me brief a bit on this. So, here what we are talking about is having a single controller manage all your wireless devices and networking devices, right? So all your access points, all your switches, all your gateway routers basically can be managed through a single controller. Now how does that help? So the communication between the devices would be encrypted, right? So you can avoid the man in the middle kind of attacks. What else you get, right? You get controller based security features. Now what is controller based security feature? Okay, let me give you an example. So how many of you know about co-working spaces, business centers, right? Now what is happening in the co-working space? Same premise, company ABC ka like person is sitting working. Maybe just besides him, company XYZ ka person is sitting and working. Now what's happening here? Ease of connectivity wireless hai. That means they are under the same roof using the same wireless. Right? So security has gone for a toss. But then what's the counter to it? Is having controller based features wherein the wireless, though it's a silo standalone product, but then since it's part of the SDN, you can have feature like private pre-shared key. Now what's this feature? Okay. It's basically combination of your switching and wireless coming into picture. Now why? Because of the SDN technology. So you can have controller based feature wherein though two different people from different companies are sitting under same roof using the same wireless, same SSID, but still have different passwords and they get connected to different VLANs. Right? So उनका network ही अलग हो गया. So what's happened here? From wireless suddenly we went into the switching, which is the wired part. Right? So what happened? Controller is able to give a feature like this. So when you talk of a SDN ecosystem, you get such features. Another feature like combination of wireless and switching I just spoke of, right? So co-working space, everyone under same roof but belonging to different companies can still be assured of security because they would have different password for the same wireless and their VLANs. Okay, maybe that's a technical term. So VLAN is basically segregation of network at a wired level, right? So ultimately all the wireless stuff gets connected to your switching and switching goes to the gateway and then to the internet, right? So that's how it is. So again, coming back to that point, wireless users using same SSID but then go to different switching or different VLAN, right? Another which I mentioned here, just a statement combining wireless with security gateways, right? So that's where the WIDS, WIPS I spoke of, right? So there's wireless device. Suppose what if a wireless device goes rogue or a user is creating problem in a wireless network. So in combination with the gateway device, which would be a security device, okay, and it has got signatures for all these things, right? I spoke of de-authentication attack, right? So to counter that, there would be a denial list, a lot of algorithms are there. Now this works on your router, whereas the wireless is being used or it is under the access point. But then controller, again SDN coming into picture, controller based feature, So what we have now is basically the gateway device by its signature is able to detect that and isolate. Okay, isolate that device, isolate that access point which is creating problem, right? So this is just, so these are just two features I spoke of. Similarly, there are a lot of things which you can do with a controller based system when you have a SDN technology, right? So okay, let's move to TP-Link. I represent TP-Link. So how? So and I'm just speaking about not the entire product portfolio here, but then just the security element, security aspect of things. So how are we doing it? Of course, the SDN what we spoke of. So we have OMADA. OMADA, if anybody knows, it's a Greek name and it means team. Why the name team? Because SDN. So we are teaming all the networking devices, right? Access point has come together, switching has come together, the routers, gateways have come together, working as a team, and you get those security features I spoke of, and many more like that, right? So yeah, IDS IPS is a common thing what you have at the gateways, right? So that's again intrusion detection systems. So this works at the gateway level. So usually you have firewalls. Firewalls have a dedicated IDS IPS engines, or it could be done at a separate layer altogether. But then this becomes an important thing. What IPS IDS. So usually whenever you implement IPS IDS, you need to do hardening. Okay. Okay, I think I don't want to get into too much technical, but then yeah, you need to know what events are happening. Okay, and then accordingly you switch on, switch off the signatures and harden your IPS engine. Okay, so what other thing? Yeah, WIDS, WIPS we spoke of, so we do that. Again, if you see here the diagram, pictorially we have tried to show that there's a controller and there's an access point and there's a router before the internet. Okay, now in combination of those two, the controller is able to quarantine any malicious device or any malicious or abnormal AP, right? So that it is not affecting others, right? So yeah, so we do have these features in TP-Link OMADA system. Deep packet inspection, this is basically application level thing, so that's another security, right? So there are like so many applications being used, like you call it shadow IT and all. But what you can do with TP-Link OMADA is that you can have, you can throttle applications which are not healthy or useful for the organization. So that there could be two strategies. You can either block it. Okay, if you block it, there could be complaints coming in. Another way of doing it is putting a cap, putting a bandwidth cap to it, right? So it would be accessible, available for everyone, but then it would work at a very small bandwidth rate. So that's deep packet inspection. There are 40 plus categories. So a lot of application. For example, if you are using Zoom meetings and all, if you want to give a higher bandwidth to that, all those things can be done through this deep packet inspection engine. SD-WAN, okay, again a bit of technical thing, but then gone are the days of MPLS links. I'm sure you must have heard of MPLS link, right? So MPLS links were those wherein from, like suppose you have an office in Delhi and one office in Mumbai. So usually you buy an MPLS link, which means that from Mumbai to Delhi there would be a connectivity through whoever the ISP telecom providers, right? So that basically works out very high on cost. So now you have internet, right? So now there is no, earlier there was, like bandwidth was a very premium commodity, right? Now it is not. So people are using VPN. So through internet you can basically connect from Delhi to Mumbai. But then what if that one link fails? So that's where the SD-WAN technology comes into picture. That even if that VPN fails, you have a second ISP or maybe a third ISP, it could be shifted to that. So all those gimmicky of handling your internet traffic and your intranet traffic which is flowing through internet, right? Connecting to Mumbai, connecting to Pune or whichever locations you have, right? So you need SD-WAN. So the OMADA gateway devices what we have support SD-WAN feature as well. Okay, so that's overall just to talk about OMADA. We have the entire solution. So we are talking about all the access points. In fact, me and my colleagues are here. We have a small stall as well. We have put up few products. You can have a look. So basically, we have got all types of access points. There are ceiling mount access points. There are wall plate access points. There are outdoor access points. Right? You can see all of them. And of course, when it comes to networking, we have grown to aggregation and core level. I'm talking about switching, and we can build a network which is 100 gig core network as well. And then, of course, the gateways, we are slowly moving to the SASE technology, that is Secure Access Service Edge. And yes, that's where the entire security thing would take place, right? So TP-Link has OMADA, which is a networking ecosystem along with security. And when I say security, we are talking about cyber security, right? So at gateway level, you have features like I spoke of IPS, IDS. We have deep packet inspection. We would have ZTNA, that is Zero Trust Network Access, and a lot of things coming up. So we are talking about SASE technology, that is Secure Access Service Edge. So this gateway device would act as a service edge. Why? Because gone are the days of firewalls. Because earlier you used to say that okay, everything is in a premise, user is sitting inside the premise, even the servers are inside. So you need a perimeter security, that is firewall, right? Now what has happened? The users have gone out, work from home and everything, right? The so-called servers which were earlier in-house have gone to cloud, right, to the big threes or any other data centers, right? So there is no particular premise you want to secure. So what happens is now, so wherever these people are working from, wherever they are, so you need a service edge, right? So that's where the gateways come into picture. So what features you get? I think I spoke about this, right? PPSK feature, right? So you get controller-based features. Then access point. Like we have. Okay, I forgot to speak about. We have got high density access points as well, right? Why high density? So suppose I placed one ceiling mount access point here, and every one of you has started using it, right? So you require that kind of capable device to handle such kind of a traffic, right? So that's why you have got high density, need high density access points, and we do have them. GPON access points, so if there's fiber connectivity, right, a lot of campuses you see there are departments, so one physics department is here, then another building for biology department, in between them you are laying fibers and stuff like that. So when you have things like that, you need wireless which are fiber capable. We do have those as well. And yeah, switching as I was talking about. So till maybe a couple of quarters back, we were just stuck with 25 gig network. That was our highest network switch. Now we have got 100 gig switching as well, right? So TP-Link is a product which has grown from down up, right? Okay, I think I forgot to ask this. How many of you know TP-Link, or how many of you have a TP-Link router in their home? Okay, okay. So that's the whole reason why we have problem of Maruti. I always use this. Now Maruti, if you know, very strong Maruti 800, Zen, Alto. But suddenly when Maruti wanted to bring the top class models, what did it do? It created Nexa. Nexa as premium automotive experience, right? A distribution ship. Why? Because of the same problem. Now TP-Link has the same problem. So there's lack of awareness among many that okay, TP-Link has all this solution, we didn't know. So they always pursue TP-Link as mera ghar ka router. Okay, so In fact, that's one of the reasons why we are here and we participate in a huge way in this event is to tell you people that TP-Link is there, is into enterprise solutioning, and we are doing bigger projects, right? Sase, as I was talking about, we are moving towards that. So soon we would have total cyber security